Get on the ground now. The officer slams the man against a patrol car, hard, hands twisting his arm as people start shouting. A quiet street in Los Angeles. Morning traffic. A well-dressed man, briefcase still in hand, just trying to get to his first day at work, now pinned, cuffed, and surrounded. No warrant. No explanation. Just force. The man stays calm, even as the officer tightens the cuffs too far. "I'm not resisting," he says, steady. The cop leans in, voice low and threatening. "You don't get to talk." Phones come out. Someone yells, "He didn't do anything." The officer ignores it, keeps pushing, searching, escalating like no one's watching. Then something shifts. A second officer steps closer, hesitates. "Did you even run his ID?" The aggressive cop snaps back instantly. "I said I've got it handled." The man on the car exhales slowly and says one quiet line. "You're about to regret this." The officer smirks. But across the street, black SUVs just pulled up. Before we go anywhere further, comment where in the world you are watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. The SUVs don't rush in. They stop, clean, controlled, engines idling like they're waiting for something. Tinted windows. No markings, just presence. The aggressive officer, Blake, barely glances at them. He's too focused on the man he's pinned down, tightening his grip like the crowd doesn't exist. "Last chance," Blake mutters. "Who are you and why are you acting like this?" The man doesn't answer right away. His cheek is pressed against the metal of the car, breath steady despite the pressure on his wrists. "I already told you," he says calmly. "I'm going to work." Blake scoffs. "Yeah? Where?" A pause. Then the man replies, quiet but firm. "Downtown." It's not the answer Blake wanted, and it only makes him more aggressive. Behind them, the second officer, Martinez, keeps looking between Blake and the SUVs. Her posture shifts. Something about this doesn't feel routine anymore. "Ryan," she says under her breath, stepping closer. "Let's just run him." It takes 2 seconds. Blake doesn't look at her. "I said I've got it." But his tone isn't as sharp now. It's strained. A man in the crowd raises his voice. "You're gonna regret this, officer. People are recording everything." Blake snaps his head toward the crowd. "Then record it," he fires back. "Maybe you'll learn how this works." But the man on the hood slightly turns his head, eyes scanning, calculating, aware. Not scared. That's what doesn't fit. Martinez notices it too. She leans in, lowering her voice. He's not reacting like someone hiding something. Blake finally steps back half an inch, just enough to look at the man's face. For the first time, there's hesitation. "Then why?" Blake says slowly. "Does he look like he knows something we don't?" The man exhales steady, and across the street, one of the SUV doors opens. Some mistakes don't feel real until someone higher starts paying attention. The SUV door doesn't slam. It closes softly. That's what makes it worse. 2 men step out, dark suits, no rush, no panic. They don't announce themselves. They just stand there for a second, scanning the scene like they've walked into something they already understand. Blake notices, but only for a moment. He turns back, doubling down. "Turn around." He orders, yanking Daniel upright just enough to push him harder against the car. "You're making this more difficult than it needs to be." "I haven't moved," Daniel replies, voice even. That calm again. It's starting to get under Blake's skin. "You don't get to decide that," Blake snaps. "I do." Behind him, Martinez steps closer, her voice tighter now. "Ryan, seriously, run his ID. This is getting unnecessary." Blake shoots her a look. "You questioning me now? I'm asking you to follow procedure." That lands. The crowd leans in. Phone's steady. No one's leaving. Blake exhales sharply, like he's being challenged in front of an audience, and he hates it. "I saw him acting suspicious," Blake says louder now, almost performing. "Refuse to cooperate." "That's enough." Daniel turns his head slightly. "I asked why I was stopped." Blake cuts him off. "And I told you to stay quiet." Martinez watches Daniel's face. No panic, no anger. Just focus. "Sir," she says carefully, "do you have identification on you?" "Yes." Blake immediately interrupts. "Don't answer that." Martinez turns to him. "Why not?" That question hangs. For a second too long. Blake doesn't respond. And that silence says everything. From across the street, one of the suited men starts walking toward them. Not fast, not aggressive, just direct. The crowd shifts, making space without realizing it. Martinez notices first. "Ryan," she whispers. "We've got attention." Blake finally looks over. The man in the suit is halfway across the street now, eyes locked on the situation. Not curious, focused, intentional. Blake straightens slightly, adjusting his stance like he suddenly feels watched. "Stay back," he calls out, trying to regain control. But the man doesn't slow down, and Daniel sees him. Just for a second, their eyes meet, and Daniel gives the smallest nod. Martinez catches it, and her expression changes instantly. "Ryan," she says, louder now, urgency breaking through. "You need to stop." Blake frowns. "Stop what?" Martinez doesn't look at him. She's staring at the man approaching. "Before this gets out of your control." Blake turns back, frustration rising, pride kicking in. "What are you talking of?" The suited man reaches them and speaks. "Officer," he says calmly, "I'm going to need you to take your hands off him." Blake blinks, thrown off, but not backing down. "And you are." The man reaches into his jacket. Not fast, not slow, just enough to make everything feel like it's about to change. And Martinez takes a step back. One wrong move, and now everyone's watching. The man's hand pauses inside his jacket, just long enough to make Blake tense up again. "Careful," Blake snaps, shifting his stance. "Keep your hands where I can see them." The man doesn't react to the tone. He slowly pulls out a slim wallet, flips it open just enough for Martinez to see. Not the crowd, not Blake, just her. Her eyes lock onto it and instantly widen. Whatever she sees, it hits hard. She straightens, almost reflexively. "Ryan." But Blake cuts her off, irritated. "What? Who is this guy?" Martinez doesn't answer right away. That hesitation says everything. The suited man closes the wallet calmly. "That's not the question you should be asking." Blake exhales sharply, stepping forward like he's trying to reclaim control. "No, the question is why you're interfering in an active stop." The man tilts his head slightly. "Active stop? On what grounds?" Blake hesitates. Just for a second. But it's enough. The crowd feels it. Phones inch closer. Daniel is still against the car, wrists red from the cuffs, but his posture hasn't changed. Calm. Watching. "You didn't run him." The suited man continues, voice steady. "You didn't establish cause. And yet you escalated to force." Blake's jaw tightens. "You don't know what I saw." "Then explain it," the man replies. Silence. Blake doesn't answer. Because now he can't. Martinez steps in, her voice lower, urgent. "Ryan, we need to uncuff him." Blake turns to her, disbelief flashing. "Are you serious right now?" She holds his gaze. "Yes." That word lands heavier than anything else so far. Blake looks between her, the suited man, the growing crowd, and then back at Daniel. Something is slipping. Fast. Then the radio on Martinez's shoulder crackles. "Unit on scene, confirm status. Supervisor inbound." Blake freezes. Because now, it's no longer just his call. And Daniel finally speaks again, quiet but precise. "You should listen to her." Blake swallows. For the first time, he doesn't look in control.